In this video, we're gonna talk about sliding edge and vertices along the object. But for now, let me change the size of my reference image a little because it's not exactly right. And you don't really need to focus on creating the exact object as the reference, because for now it's better for you to focus on learning the tools and technique, but it's not bad to make it closer to our reference image. So I'm gonna scale my image with using the S or using the scale tools and make it closer to my object. So for example here, this much is enough. And as you can see, the height of my object is a little short, so I'm gonna select face tool, select the top face, select the move tools, and moving my object to the top. I think this much is enough. And now for creating these holes, we need to add edge. And at first glance, let me go to the edge tools and wireframe. And at first glance, you may think that, okay, we need edge here, so we use the loop cut tools. Okay, and you may not be wrong. You can use the loop cut tools with, for example, if I use the Ctrl R shortcut and move, you can use the loop cut tools and then use this edge and move the edge up. But the second you want to add another edge and another edge, you cannot create exactly the same space between these two edges because you're only doing it with your eye seeing and it's not exactly the same space. And that's why for the object that have edges with the same space, and what I mean is, for example, I have this edge and the space between these two and the space between these three are all the same. So for creating the same space between all of them, you need to use bevel tools, because with bevel you can specify the exactly width of each of these edges. So let me show you exactly what I mean, and let me dissolve these edges with Ctrl X, and I need to use bevel for here. So first I create edge here, then use a bevel to create two edge here at the center of these two, and then we use another bevel to create these four edges. Okay, so first I need to create an edge, so I'm going to the -y wireframe and Ctrl R for loop cut and move my edge here. Okay, my edge for now is horizontal and we need to move my edge along the object. And for moving an edge along the object, there is a tool called edge slide tools. And if I select my edge slide and left click on this handlebar, you can see that I can move my edge along the object. So I'm going to the -y, select this and move my object to make it parallel to the edges that I need. But it's gonna be at the top of the edges that I want, and I want an edge here. So I select all of these edges, you can see, and then once again use the handlebar to move it down, but it's not gonna be parallel to my edges. So once again I'm gonna use this edge and then go to the -y, move it once again to the top, and once again I'm gonna move it down. Okay, so this is the middle edge. And now I can use the bevel tools, and this is my bevel tools, or press Ctrl B shortcut to create two edges at the center of each hole. Okay, and now once again I'm gonna select each loop, and again I'm gonna use the bevel tools to create these edges. And let me select my bevel menu, and the number here is gonna be 0.069. I'm gonna make it 7, and remember this offset for these top edges, and let me write it here, 0, 7. Okay, so I write it here. So now we need to create this tree edge, and once again I'm gonna use the loop cut tools, or using Ctrl R shortcut to create the edge that I need. And you can see that with using the shortcut, it's gonna be a slide my edge along the object. And there is a shortcut that if you want to make an edge parallel to one side of your object, you can use that shortcut, and the shortcut is E. And if I press E, you can see that it's gonna be parallel to the bottom side, and this yellow line and this red point is gonna show you which side is gonna be parallel line. And if you want to make it parallel to the, for example, top side, you can flip the side with using the F shortcut, and it's gonna be parallel to the top side. But I'm gonna parallel to the bottom side with using F another time. And if you want to cancel the parallel, you can press E once again to make it the normal slide. So I'm gonna use E and put it exactly at the center of all the edges that I need. Then I'm gonna use the bevel tools with using the Ctrl B shortcut. Let me use the tools this time. And I'm gonna create this much. It's gonna be at the center of the holes. And let me change the number to become 3. And then I'm gonna select these 3 loops with Alt and left click, or double click if you activate the emulate tree button mouse. And for that you need to go to the preference video about emulate tree button. I'm gonna go to the -Y using bevel tools one more time, and we only need 1 for here, and the number was 0.7, and if I put 0.07, it's gonna be exactly the same size as the bottom. And this is how you create edges with even space between them for object that is industrial. And we also need another edge for this side and this side. So I'm gonna use the Ctrl R shortcut for loop cut tools, or using the loop cut tools here. So I'm gonna select loop cut, and approximately I'm gonna put it here. And since my object is on my reference is on perspective, is not gonna be exactly at the same space as my reference image. So I think this much is close to the reference image, and this is how you can create your edges with even space in your object. And another thing that I want to point out is that for sliding edge and vertices, you can use the shortcut, and I really suggest that you learn the shortcut because it's so much easier, and the shortcut is really easy. If you select, for example, this edge, this alone edge, if you use the G, you're gonna just move your edge. But if you use the G one more time, as you can see, it's gonna slide edge along your object. And it's also used for vertex. For example, if I select this vertex, G for free moving, and if you press G one more time, it's gonna move vertex along my edges. And like loop cut tools, if I press double G and then press E, I can making it parallel to one side and using F for flipping to the other side, or using it again to cancel the parallel feature. And I think that's enough for this video. In the next video, we're gonna create these holes and then fill the space between them. See you on the next video. I never use the edge slide tool, I only use it for this video, and I suggest that you learn the shortcuts because you're gonna use it a lot. So I press double G is for sliding whether it's a vertex or edge, and then if I want to make it parallel to one side, I press E, and if I want to flip the parallel side, I can press F, and if I want to cancel it, I can press E again to cancel the parallel, so that I can slide it on any direction I want. And as always, you can subscribe or like. See you on the next video.